Good evening, everybody, and welcome to CVCA Royals football on CVCA Livestream's YouTube channel. My name is Tim Nichols, and it's the start of another year of CVCA football. As always, we're glad to have you along with us for the broadcast tonight. The Royals return home for the first time since last November when CVCA defeated Akron East at home in their run to the Division III state semifinals. The Royals finished last year at 12-1. The lone loss, a heartbreaking defeat to Toledo Central Catholic when a game-winning kick went wide, denying CVCA a spot in their first ever state championship game. That 2025 run fueled an offseason of optimism. The Royals had strung together 17 straight regular season wins, but reality set in last Friday night. 8 players on offense and 6 on defense from that team are gone to graduation. And the new-look Royals struggled on offense in the season opener a week ago at Brecksville, sending the Royals to an opening week loss to the Division III Bs by a score of 16-7. It was a game the Royals, a Division III state semifinalist a year ago, were expected to win. But just like the team has had to turn the page on what happened last year, they've also had to turn the page this week on what happened last week. It's a new night, though, and a new season, and it's time for the home opener with a familiar opponent. Canton South has made the trip north to face the Royals this evening. The two teams shared an affiliation in the Principals Athletic Conference before CVCA's departure a couple of seasons ago, and the Wildcats are on the prowl here at Royal Stadium looking to get their first win as well. One of these teams is going to get win number 1 of the season tonight, and we're ready to bring you all the action here on CVCA Livestream. The Royals had to hit the reset button, as we said a week ago. We're coaching them like any other week, said offensive coordinator Ray Caroscia. We need to get better at football, he said. Caroscia and head coach Nick Cook might as well have said it's time to put those regional championship shirts back in the drawer as well. This new team, gone, is the record-setting quarterback Charlie Levac. He'll be suiting up in purple this fall at Mount Union with his former teammates Braden Harris and Dirk Geiger as well. Record-setting running back and linebacker Joey Kopech packed up just after the fall semester last year to enroll early at Rutgers, where he's battling for a spot on the two-deep as a freshman. His younger brother Tommy is poised to take the step into the leading role in this new Royals team, Team 31, and he did his part last week. Rushed 24 times for 80 yards and a touchdown. But the biggest change from a year ago, despite all their accolades, is not the turnover in the guys in the skill positions. The Royals had 11 offensive possessions at Brecksville last week, but the longest drive was just 32 yards, and it ended on a punt. One of 8 punts by the team a week ago. By comparison, the first-team offense for CVCA only punted 12 times all season last year. The Royals returned just 1 of 5 starting offensive linemen from the 2025 Regional Championship team. Josiah Newmeyer started at center in 2025 and earned honorable mention All-State honors in Division III. He's moved over to right guard, but there are 4 new faces in the trenches for the Royals, and as they go, so will this season go for CVCA. Paul Tepley will play both ways for the first time as he takes over at left tackle. Senior Asa Boyd got the nod at left guard. Junior James Jeffers got 4 starts filling in for injured teammates a year ago, but now he's the full-time starter at center. And senior Bennett McCubbin, all 6'3", 250 pounds of him, is in the lineup at right tackle. This group has got to play better than they did a week ago when the Royals rushed 47 times but managed just 2.7 yards per carry. The good news, well, what's the old coaching adage? The greatest improvement in a football team happens between week 1 and week 2. Well, we'll see if that's the case tonight because the Royals' defense looked to be in fine form. CVCA's defense did give up 2 big chunk plays in the first half a week ago, both which led to Brecksville touchdowns. But after halftime, the Royals' defense held the Bees to just 39 yards and 1 first down, which came with 1 minute left in the game after the contest was already decided. Big crowd is filling in tonight. It's new family tailgate night here at CVCA, and the 2026 Royals have a chance to get their first win of the season. Canton South is looking to show improvement tonight as well under a new head coach, Bedre Bardawill. The Wildcats held their own last week against the Garaway Pirates squad that won 11 games a year ago, but they fell 20-6. Still, it's a loss against a Division VI opponent for the Division IV Wildcats, and tonight will present a big step up for Canton South. Legendary quarterback from Canton South, Poochie Snyder, has been gone now for 2 years, and South is just 9-14 since his departure for Sacred Heart University of the NCAA's Division I FCS subdivision. The quarterback for Canton South is senior Brody Beagle. What he lacks in size, standing just 5 foot 8 pounds, and rather 5 foot 8 inches and 175 pounds, well, he makes up for that in toughness and grit. Beagle was thrown into the limelight as a freshman, subbing for an injured Poochie Snyder against Triway, and he engineered a game-winning drive that capped off by a 69-yard touchdown pass to win the game in the final minutes 3 years ago. He ascended into the starting job as a sophomore in 2024, but South stumbled to a 4-7 record. Last year, though, he was back, but platooned with Nolan Bonner, who has since transferred to Hoover. So now as a senior, Brody Beagle's still the guy who's around, and his head coach says Beagle is our guy. The problem for South, Beagle needs more guys up front. He dropped back 36 times intending to pass against Garraway. He was sacked 3 times. He was forced to scramble another 12 times. The good news, well, he was able to get passes off, and when he did, he was on target, finishing 16 for 21 for 142 yards through the air. But the ground game, the Pirates held South to just 37 yards on 33 carries, just 1.1 yards per carry, and a cloud of rubber pellets, as they would say. The South O-line struggled in the preseason scrimmage against Dover as well, and that carried over last week. The 5 starters average 294 pounds up front, so size is not an issue. When they give their quarterback time, he can find his playmakers, and those playmakers include Torres Conley. 48 catches, 793 yards, and 9 touchdowns a year ago. In fact, Beagle targeted 7 different receivers against Garraway last week, including senior Diego Bautista and junior Gavin McGirt out of the backfield, as well as 4 other wideouts, including Jaleel Jackson, a junior, Jackson Conley, a freshman, senior Jamarian Gatlin, and junior Aiden Lewis. South's defense gave up 5 yards a carry and 154 overall, but they held Garraway to just 97 yards through the air, and they came up with 1 interception by Lewis, the junior safety. The Wildcats play a 3-4 defensive scheme, and they'll rely on their down linemen, Dier Jamerson, Gavin Freeman, and Cameron Ash to get push up front. Clock winding down, and the CVCA Royals marching band has taken the field for the first time this year, and Mighty Royals is being played for the enjoyment of the fans here who are filing in at Royal Stadium. Once again, we mentioned it is a new family tailgate night tonight here at Royal Stadium, an event that happens every year as the first home game of the season. Lots of new families here at CVCA this year. In fact, they said they were expecting a crowd of about 800 new families, not new families, 800 new individuals in new families, I guess we would say. And the tent in the end zone is set up as it typically is in years past, and all those new family members are enjoying or will enjoy the contest here tonight from Royal Stadium from the end zone VIP area. Royals record book, as we move into that part of our pregame program and activities. Well, graduation did a number on the Royals record book in terms of the active players that are on the high levels of that record book. We might as well call this the Luke McQuillan segment for a while. The CVCA kicker is the only current player that is jumping off the page in the record book. Senior kicker set the single-season PAT record last year, booting 61 of 63 through the uprights a year ago. With 1 PAT last week, if he's successful on his next one tonight, he will ascend to the top of the charts as the most accurate kicker on PATs in school history. His next good kick will also move him into a tie with Garrett Brown into 6th place all-time and made points after touchdown. On special teams, senior Zach Anderson sits 5th all-time in career kickoff return average. He does average 22.6 yards each time he returns a kick. He's always a threat to take it to the house. We'll see if that can happen tonight or at some point this year. This is the 7th meeting all-time between CVCA and Canton South, and it's the 5th time the teams have met as non-conference opponents. It's also the 5th straight season that these two teams have played against each other. The two teams were both members of the Principals Athletic Conference for a pair of seasons back in 2022 and 2023, South joining the pack in 2022, the Royals departing after the 23-24 calendar year. And as we get to this point in the program, we're going to turn the audio over to the public address announcer, L.T. Newland, who will open with a moment of prayer, followed by the national anthem.
Heavenly Father, we pause just for a moment this evening to say thank you as we acknowledge that every good thing that we have comes from you. I'm grateful for the communities gathered around the game of football on a Friday night. Grateful for the beautiful weather that you've given to us. And most grateful for your Son, Christ, that he came and died the death that we should have died, lived the life that we should have lived. Pray that our lives would be a response of gratitude to his sacrifice. We thank you so much for the wonderful gifts that you have given to everyone here. Pray that everything that happens tonight would be to your honor and glory. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Round of applause for the CVCA Royals Marching Band. Yours truly got a chance to talk to Charlie Hubble, the marching band director, last weekend. He mentioned the trumpet section has tripled in size. Band now up above 50 members as the band back in its third year back as an entity. Went away after COVID, so it's great to see Mr. Hubble and the CVCA Royals Marching Band here on Friday nights. We mentioned the series history, 7th meeting overall between CVCA and Canton South. The Royals lead the all-time series 4-2, defeating Canton South 42-14 a year ago. 2 years ago, CVCA won at home 21-10. The most memorable moment in the series was back in 22 when CVCA's Kyle Snyder scored his 5th rushing touchdown of the game in overtime to propel the Royals to a 42-36 come-from-behind victory, perhaps the most exciting finish in the 6-year history of CVCA Livestream. We got to call that game right here. Head coaches tonight, well, we mentioned Bedre Bardawal. He takes over this year for Matt Dennison at Canton South. Dennison departed for Glen Oak after last season. It's Bardawal's third stop as a head coach, but his first time on the sidelines as the head ball coach since 2017 when he finished a 3-year stint at his alma mater, St. Thomas Aquinas. Before that, he was the head coach at Claymont for 2 years back in 2010 and 2011. More recently, Bardawal had been the offensive coordinator at Jackson the last 2 years and held similar roles at Massillon and also at McKinley before that. Overall, Bardawal is 26-27 as a head coach, and he's looking for win number 1 at Canton South tonight. CVCA head coach Nick Cook is now in his 6th season. How can it be already? 6th season on the Royals sideline, where he is 42-18 with the Royals. Overall, he sports a career record of 71-51. Coach Cook came to CVCA in 2021 after rebuilding the Chicago Christian High School program. More on that in a moment, because here come the Royals. Royals breaking through the banner, and they're ready to get going here on a Friday night, the first time in 2026 for Team 31. Coach Cook, 71-51 overall as a head coach, came to CVCA in 2021, as we mentioned, after rebuilding the Chicago Christian High School program, a program that, mind you, won the state championship 2 years ago after Coach Cook left, so he left it in good standing. He founded and coached one season early in his career at Grove City Christian in Franklin County here in Ohio. As we get ready for kickoff tonight, about 2 minutes left before that takes place, a reminder, you can follow us on social media by searching for the social media handle at CVCA Livestream on X, Instagram, and Facebook. If you're watching tonight on YouTube, Make sure you subscribe to the CVCA Livestream YouTube channel to ensure you're aware of all future broadcast information. The weather tonight, well, what a night for football. Mostly sunny. In fact, there is not a cloud in the sky. A touch of fall in the air here in late August. 71 degrees at kickoff, light winds out of the north. It is a great night for football here on the east side of Cuyahoga Lake Road. Injury report tonight before we get the kickoff underway. The Royal starters did come out healthy in week 1. For South, senior Braylon Conley did not appear last week. Word is he is not injured. It was a coach's decision, and we do expect to see Conley in the lineup. He's the leading returning rusher for these Canton South Wildcats from a year ago. Clock winding down, a minute and change left before the teams take to the gridiron tonight. Royals will wear brand new royal blue uniform tops with the black bottoms. Royal Lion, the blue lion on the black helmets at Canton South, yet to enter the stadium, so we're still waiting on the Wildcats here as the fans anticipating football on a Friday night here from Royal Stadium. And there are the Wildcats coming in to the end zone to our left. There. And there are the Wildcats. We've just been informed we may have a slight delay in kickoff here. The scoreboard has gone down, so they are working that diligently in the room to our left. 12 minutes is on the scoreboard. The first down and ball on information is not on the scoreboard yet, but perhaps we will get underway. We'll see. So once again, the slight delay is related to the scoreboard mechanism, the console in the tower in the room to our left, showing 12 minutes. That is the good news. The first down and ball on information is blank. We'll see if we can get an update on that as we're getting ready to go. Whistles blow, though, and the teams are taking to the field, so we're looking like we're going to be underway shortly. And very shortly. Royals are in a formation to receive. Canton South will kick off. The kicker for Canton South is Gavin McGirt. He is a junior, 5'8", 155. He kicks off, he punts, pretty much does it all. A little bit of kick returning and running back as well. McGirt handles the kickoff duties for Canton South. Back deep for CVCA. The Royals typically send Zach Anderson and Tommy Kopech. And they are back to our left as we're getting ready to start here in 2026 from Royal Stadium. McGirt runs up and he boots it away. It'll be Kopech who will get it from his 10-yard line across the 20 and out near the 30-yard line where he's taken down by a host of Canton South Wildcats.
Kick return by number 24 of the Royals, Tommy Kopech. First and 10 for the Royals.
Royals have first down and 10 yards to go from the 30-yard line.
The scoreboard is not currently working other than the time. So tune in to some audio updates tonight.
And we've just been informed that the scoreboard is not working other than the time, so you do have the time on the clock. We'll call it the first down and the yards to go for you as we continue through this first quarter. Just underway, 11:53 to go. The first play on offense for CVC out of the T formation tonight. The quarterback is Alex Mamoni, and he hands off, and it's a big run on first down. Zach Anderson's across the 40-yard line. He's going to pick up 12 yards, and CVCA will move the chains. They'll move it back to the 41, so officially 11 yards in that first down play. And that is a good sign tonight. You get a look at the replay right here. Anderson off the right side had a big hole and out across the 40-yard line to the 41 for a first down and 10 for the Royals. They'll run the same play and they'll get nearly the same production. It's Anderson again. He's out to the 49-yard line. He'll pick up 8 yards, 2nd down and 2. We mentioned under center for CVCA is Alex Mamoni, and we've got the first flag of the contest. We'll wait to see what the call is. It appeared to come out after the play was done. Dead ball. Personal foul on Canton South. And so they'll mark off 15 yards against the Wildcats here. So not a great start for Canton South. The Royals 19 yards on the ground. They'll tack on 15 more on a personal foul penalty on the Wildcats. At CVCA will be quickly across midfield into positive territory, and they'll spot the ball on the 36-yard line of the Wildcats. Pitch to the near side. And that's Tommy Kopech. He's ridden out of bounds. A short gain, but they'll give him 5, so it'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go for Kopech. You get another look at it right here. Royals leaning on the right side of that offensive line. Josiah Neubauer, the All-State honorable mention right guard, and also on the right side, Bennett McCubbin. And all 3 plays have gone that direction for CVCA so far. They'll split a receiver out. That's Skolnekovic. They're going to go left side. Kopech across the 30, and he's hit and taken down there by the Wildcats. It'll be short of the 1st down. 3rd down for CVCA, the first of the contest.
Number 5, A.J. Madison. That brings up 3rd down for the Royals.
Get another look again once here on the screen once again. 3rd and 5 for CVCA. Royals are 5 of 15 on 3rd down a week ago. Certainly room for improvement, and we'll see what they can do here. Anderson gets it, cuts to the left. He's going to have 1st down yardage and more. Ridden out of bounds on the far side, and they'll move the chains for CVCA.
Anderson. That's good for the Royals. 1st down.
Royals struggled on the front in the trenches last week. But so far in this first drive, as they move it back to the 22, they've been getting the push up front. Will Perot splits out to the near side. Just check that. It's Bradley Skolnekovic, 13 to the near side, but they're going to run it again. Kopech, 10, 5, touchdown, CVCA. Tommy Kopech is in the end zone for a touchdown for the Royals, and the CVCA football team takes an early 6-0 lead. Once again, we mentioned that the scoreboard is not working for anything other than the time, so it is 6-0. Royals ready to kick an extra point. Luke McQuillan in. The kick is up, and with that kick, he becomes the most accurate kicker in CVCA football history. The point after touchdown is good. 10 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first quarter, and CVCA takes the lead. It's 7-0. An outstanding first drive for CVCA, 70 yards, all of it on the ground, capped off by a Tommy Kopech touchdown run. 22 yards, and CVCA leads this one 7-0. An outstanding start for the Royals. 7-0. McQuillan's out to kick off for CVCA. Back deep for Canton South. Torres Conley, number 1. And it looks like it's his brother, number 0. Check that, it's 18. It is Gavin McGirt on the far side. And Conley is not out there on the near side as well. You got McGirt. And we'll see who comes away with it. Near side kickoff, it is going to be McGirt. He'll take it at the 9-yard line. Angles his way up toward the 20. Swarmed under by the CVCA coverage team. And Canton South will have a long field to go as they start out this contest. Down 7-0. Will Perot in there for the tackle for CVCA. And we'll get our first look at Brody Beagle and the Canton South Wildcats. Bedre Bardawal giving some last and final instructions here before the Wildcats take to the field. They do like to throw it more often than not. But will they have the opportunity to protect Beagle long enough? He starts out in shotgun. He's got Braylon Conley to his left. And now multiple players shifting. Unbalanced to the right side. They'll go with Conley right up the middle. And Conley's going to get a gain of 4 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 6. We'll take a look at the offensive starters for Canton South. Brody Beagle, the quarterback. Braylon Conley in the lineup tonight. Torres Conley at wide receiver. Gatlin, Jackson Conley, and Jamarian. Lineup up front, you saw right there. Those are the big uglies, as it were. The other wide receiver for Canton South, Jamarian Gatlin, we meant to mention. 2nd down and 6 for the Wildcats. Again, Beagle out of the shotgun. They're going to run it again. And it's a big gain across the 30-yard line. 1st down yardage. They'll move the chains. Conley's out to the 32-yard line. He'll pick up 8 yards, and it's a 1st down for the Wildcats. Plays being signaled in from the sideline. It's kind of a pseudo huddle. Beagle handoff again, staying on the ground. And another good 1st down run for Braylon Conley. He's across the 35 out to the 37-yard line. He'll pick up 5 yards, 2nd down and 5. Now we'll look at the CVCA defensive starters. Bennett McCubbin, Mason Fry, and Paul Tepley up front. The linebackers for the Royals: Tommy Kopech, Reed Jones, Jace Mankey, and Carter Walkley. And the secondary has 3 new faces in it this year. Zach Anderson, the only holdover. Moses Bader, Shane Cook, and Jackson Cruz join Anderson in the back for CVCA. 2nd and 5, and it'll be the first pass attempt tonight for Brody Beagle. He's going to toss it far side. He's got a man out there, and it is incomplete. That was intended for number 1, Torres Conley, I believe. 4 Royals out there in coverage. Closest one was number 80, Moses Bader. And he'll get credit for the pass breakup. So 3rd down now for Canton South. They've got 1 1st down on this drive. They've kept it on the ground for 3 of the first 4 plays. Torres Conley out by the numbers on the far side. In the slot on that side is Jamarian Gatlin. Single receiver near side. They're going to fake the run. Slant pass over the middle. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down. They were looking for Gatlin. And now a decision to be made. Zach Anderson was in on coverage for the Royals, and they're going to punt it. So the Wildcats get 1 1st down. And now they're going to have to punt the ball away. And this was an area for big-time improvement for CVCA from a week ago. The Royals gave up about 20 yards on 6 of their 8 punts by just not fielding it, the ball rolling. And with an offense that struggled last week, it just made the long fields even longer. Back to punt is McGirt. Zach Anderson's back deep for CVCA. McGirt rolls to his right. It's the Aussie-style kick. Finally gets out of the way, and a fair catch is called, and that is an improvement on a week ago. Anderson will field it on the 28-yard line, I believe, and that's where CVCA will start out first down and 10.
With 8 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
36 yards on the punt, no return. And the Royals offense will take the field once again. Leading 7-0 with 8 minutes and 6 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Mamoni back out to lead the CVCA offense, and this time it looks like they'll be in the shotgun. Check that. He's under center. They're back in the T formation. First and 10 from the 34. Right side run. Flag is down. A big gain, but it might be coming back. We'll wait to see the call. Flag is in the area of the line of scrimmage, and that's typically a holding call. And that's exactly what it is. Holding on CVCA, so they're going to march the ball back 10 yards.
Flag on the play is holding against the Royals.
We'll see if we can see it from the backside. And you see it right there, one of the Royals offensive lineman, number 77. There's no 77. Check that. Whatever number that was, it was a tackle. And so it's first down and 20 for CVCA. On first and 20, the Royals will run it, and they'll get a lot of it back across the 40 to the 43-yard line as Zach Anderson. He picks up 19 yards on that run play on first and 20, and CVCA is going to have second and short. Big hole, and Anderson just breaking tackles and carrying defenders with him on the tackle number 15 for Canton South. It's Mason Klein. Check that at 16. Brody Beagle, the quarterback, who's playing two ways for Canton South. Second and 1. Line of scrimmage is the 43-yard line. Right side run. Run left, run right rather, and run for a first down. That time the Royals will gain 5 yards. They needed 1. Tommy Kopech does the honors, and it's a first down for CVCA. Royals out to the 43-yard line. A timeout is called on the field. CVCA calling that timeout. And so head coach Nick Cook seeing something he wants to talk over. It's the first of the half for the Royals, leading 7-0. And as we get to that first timeout of this first half, we're going to talk about our first Power Meal sponsor of the year, and that is El Maison. The Royals Power Meal program continues with Team 31 with a local restaurant providing the Royals with a meal on game day. Gather your friends for a fiesta of flavors. Your taste buds will spring to life with bold flavors at El Maison, where each dish tells a story steeped in tradition and love. Be sure to mark your calendar for Taco Mondays. The fun starts at 3 p.m. Authentic Mexican dishes that make every celebration worth savoring. El Maison in Cuyahoga Falls. Stop on down this weekend and let them know that you are thankful for their help and support of CVCA football. First and 10 for the Royals, and they're going to run it with Tommy Kopech. Another big run for the junior running back. He's going to pick up 15 more yards. Out across midfield and down to the 42-yard line of Canton South. And we have yet to look at the CVCA offense. We'll take a look at those starting lineups after this play. 1st and 10 for the Royals on the South 42-yard line. First pass play of the night. Mamoni looks, throws, and it's behind the intended receiver for CVCA. That was 87, Carter Walkley. Once again, we'll take a look at the Royals' starting offensive players. Get a look at them here. Alex Mamoni, Reed Jones, Kopech, Zach Anderson, Walkley, and Skolnekovich, the skill players. Up front for CVCA, Paul Tepley, Asa Boyd, James Jeffers, Josiah Newmeyer, and Bennett McCubbin. 2nd and 10 after that incomplete pass by Mamoni. They come out in the tee once again, and we expect they'll keep it right on the ground. They've had a lot of success so far in the first quarter, and they do. Anderson with a big hole. Zach Anderson is going to take it to the house, 42 yards. Touchdown, CVCA. Zach Anderson with his first touchdown run of the season. And the Royals' lead increases to 13-0. Once he got through the line of scrimmage, got into the second level, and Anderson clear sailing into the end zone. 13-0 Royals with 5:51 to go and a point after touchdown to come. The holder for CVCA is Shane Cook. The long snapper is Jackson Cruz. McQuillan is out there to boot the extra point. The operation is clean, and the kick is up and good. Royals take a 14-0 lead with 5:51 to go, just over midway through quarter number 1 here at Royals Stadium. Two possessions, 2 touchdowns for the Royals. And once again, we are updating scores manually here. The only thing running on the scoreboard tonight is the clock. And there we go, the 14 in the books. So another kickoff for McQuillan coming up. Back deep for Canton South is Braylon Conley, number 0, and Gavin McGirt. There are 3 Conley brothers on this Canton South team. Braylon and Torres, both seniors, and Jackson Conley, number 3, who's in the starting lineup on offense, a freshman. Right now, we'll see if the Royals kick deep, which they did the first time. They do often pooch kick it. And it's going to go to McGirt. He'll take it at the 11. McGirt across the 20, and then a host of Royals in there to take him down about the 25-yard line. That's where the Wildcats will take over. First down and 10 yards to go.
Brody Beagle on the return for the Wildcats. Stopped up by number 55 of the Royals, Jace Mankey.
Jace Mankey in there on the tackle. They did call Brody Beagle on that return. I do believe it was McGirt. Beagle's getting ready to lead the offense back out on the field, trailing 14-0 here early in this contest, just midway through quarter number 1. Two receivers to the near side. Single back in the backfield is Conley. He's going to get a fake. It's completed on the far side to number 1, Torres Conley. First completion of the night for Brody Beagle. They'll pick up 7 yards. Actually, they'll pick up 10 yards right to the 35-yard line with the catch and run. Shane Cook on the tackle for the Royals, but enough for a first down for the Wildcats, so they move the chains. Clock runs with 5:22 to go here in the first quarter. This time a run. Braylon Conley off the right side, and he's got a good gain across the 40-yard line out to the 41. Second down and 4. Actually, they'll move it to the 42, so 2nd and 3. 7-yard pickup for Conley. 4 carries, 24 yards for Conley so far. Not a bad first quarter for him in his first action of the 2026 campaign. 2nd and 3. Beagle hands off to Conley again, and he's going to drag defenders across the first down marker. Pick up of 4 yards, and they'll move the chains again. 1st and 10, Wildcats.
Braylon Conley on the carry for the Wildcats. Brought down by number 56 of the Royals.
Bennett McCubbin in there on the tackle for the Royals. He's playing on the left side of that defensive front. Both McCubbin and Paul Tepley going both ways. Mason Fry playing over the ball. And right now, South moving the ball on the Royals on the ground. And a penalty is going to be an offsides on CVCA. Encroachment, the call on the Royals. And they'll march off 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 5. Restart the clock with 4:05, make it 4:06 to go. And there's the wind. Beagle out of the shotgun. He's going to look to pass this time. Looking left, looking long. Out there, and Zach Anderson makes it an interception for CVCA. 3-on-3. Zach Anderson gets the better of it. Jackson Conley was the intended receiver, and the Royals have their first takeaway of the season. Beagle intercepted. You watch it right here. He was looking left all the way, and Zach Anderson was not fooled. He had better position. Number 8, actually, not number 3. 8-on-3, and Anderson with the takeaway. The Royals with a 14-0 lead, and they'll have the ball 1st down and 10. They'll spot it on the 19-yard line. 3:52 to go here. Quarter number 1. And then down here. So the first down play for the Royals after the turnover. Another big run. Out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 12 yards for Reed Jones, his first carry of the night. Reed Jones wearing number 7, a senior. It's 14-0 Royals. The South drive derailed by the interception by Zach Anderson as you watch that replay. Trickeration in the backfield. The ball went to Tommy Kopech. Kopech was not fooled. He picked up 7 yards. 2nd down and 3. I do not believe we've actually shown the defensive starters for Canton South, so we'll take a look at them right here. De'Air Jamerson, Gavin Freeman, and Cameron Ash, the starters up front. Beagle, Young, Bautista, and Gatlin. And there you see the secondary as the Royals run right, and Reed Jones runs across the 45-yard line. Plenty for a 1st down out to the 46-yard line. He'll gain 8, and they'll move the chains once again.
That's good for the Royals. 1st down.
First and 10 Royals. Another good run for CVCA, just pushing the pile out across the 50 to the 45, just shy of the 1st down, 9.5 yards. Mason Fry gets his first touch of the contest, and it's a good one. 9 yards, 2nd down and 1. Clock winding down to 2 minutes to go in the first quarter here. Anderson in motion. He's the lead blocker. First down for the Royals. Mason Fry has it again, churning those feet across the 40 to the 39, perhaps the 38-yard line. He's going to pick up 7 more.
That's good for the Royals. First down.
First and 10 again for CVCA. The Royals moving the ball. It's already 2 touchdowns in this quarter. 181 yards already on the ground in the first quarter. My goodness, the Royals dominating quarter number 1. And we've got a flag down. It's going to be an encroachment penalty on Canton South, so 5 more for CVCA. We marked off right here. One of the linebackers for South jumped a bit early, trying to fill one of the gaps. They restart the clock with 1:15 to go in the first quarter. Two backs in the backfield this time. Pitch play near side, and I believe that's Fry again, just rolling over Canton South defenders. He was hit by Desmond Young, ran over him, and then was taken down by Jamarian Gatlin. Just shy of the first down. It'll be 2nd down and 2, a pickup of 3 that time on the short 1st and 5 after the penalty. Perhaps the last play of the first quarter if the Royals keep it on the ground, and why wouldn't they? Out of the T formation, Mamoni will hand off right side. Zach Anderson with a big run again, and Zach Anderson's going to get to the end zone again. Touchdown, CVCA. Zach Anderson with his 2nd of the first quarter, the 3rd overall for the Royals, and 20 seconds remain in the first quarter. The Royals are up 20-0. Big hole for Anderson right there, and he just weaved his way to the end zone. A 30-yard touchdown run for Zach Anderson, and Anderson has 119 yards already in the first quarter. McQuillan's kick is up, and it's through the uprights for the 3rd time in the first 12 minutes. CVCA leads this one by a score of 21-0. The offensive line struggled a week ago. They are dominating in the first quarter tonight for CVCA, 21-0. We called it 181 yards just before that touchdown. 17 carries, 214 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the ground for CVCA. Canton South looking for answers. They have moved the ball a little bit on the ground. 3 or 4 first downs. But Brody Beagle's last pass was intercepted by Zach Anderson, who's got 2 touchdowns and a takeaway, having a heck of a first quarter for the CVCA senior. The Canton South return men looking right into that setting sun. It is Gavin McGirt and Braylon Conley once again. And they're going to kick it right to McGirt again. He'll look into that sun, and he will field it across the 20 with some steam. He gets a space on the right side, and McGirt's got a return across the 45 and all the way out to Luke McQuillan at the 48-yard line. A 30-plus yard return for Gavin McGirt. Will Perot on the tackle, and for good measure, Luke McQuillan was right there. You watch it again. McGirt fielded that ball on the 15 and took it all the way out to the 48. So 33 yards on the return. And the Wildcats will have good field position here late in the first quarter, but down 21-0 to CVCA. Running off the field, extra man out there was Desmond Young. And it's a pad snap, and the whistle blows. Good thing for Brody Beagles. That would have been a huge loss. We'll wait to see what the call is on the penalty. It is a false start, and that is the best false start Canton South will ever have. It'll only cost them 5, and they get the down back. 1st and 15 for Canton South. Glad you're joining us here on CVCA live stream. Big crowd here, and we can see a big crowd also on the stream. Handoff to Conley. Conley breaking tackles, but only gains 2 yards as the first quarter is going to wind down. And we go to the end of one period of play. CVCA leading after 1 by a score of 21-0. 21-0 Royals. A big first quarter on the ground for Zach Anderson, who already has 119 yards and a pair of touchdowns, and CVCA leading big. Well, it is the 6th anniversary of CVCA Livestream tonight. It all began 6 years ago tonight in a huge rainstorm down at Fairless. And now what began with football during COVID has expanded to cover soccer, basketball, hockey, and lacrosse. Professional production still 100% volunteer staffing. We thank those of you who have given in the past to help us defray costs of upgrading equipment. This year's no different. CVCA Livestream needs your financial support, and you can do that by going to the CVCA website. Gifts to support CVCA Livestream are tax deductible. Simply scan the QR code or visit the link on your screen and note CVCA Livestream in the comments. And when you make your donation, as always, we thank you for watching and for supporting CVCA Livestream. 21-0 as we start the second quarter here, and Canton South's going to have second down and 13 yards to go. Once again, a reminder, the scoreboard having malfunctions tonight on the down and distance. Beagle's going to throw long. He's got Conley out there, and a completion all the way down to the 12-yard line. First big play of the night. 41 yards on the pass play from Brody Beagle to Torres Conley. And the Wildcats are in the red zone, first down and 10 from the 12-yard line.
Attention families and new students to CVCA, we are excited to welcome you to our CVCA community. Remember to stop by the VIP tent located behind this end zone with the scoreboard. We'd love to the opportunity to meet you, answer your questions, get you connected here to the school. Stop by the VIP
Deepest penetration of the night for the Wildcats on the big play. Beagle's going to hand off, and Braylon Conley is hit in the backfield, but still keeps those legs churning, and he's going to get 3 or 4 yards in this one. They'll give him 3. Second down and a long 7. Tommy Kopech in there on the tackle for the Royals. So inside the 10-yard line are the Wildcats for the first time. They'll spot it on the 9. Second and 7. This time, Conley lines up behind Beagle. He's going to get it again. First one in there to make a hit on him was Carter Walkley from his linebacker spot. He does gain a couple, but it'll be third down and long for Canton South. Third and a long 4 or a short 5 from the 7-yard line. They need to get to the 3 for the first down. So 3rd and 4. Down 21-0. You've got to expect this is 4-down territory for Canton South here. Crowd trying to make some noise here for the Royals. Beagle under center. Conley gets it. Left side. He's going to be close to the first down. I think he's got it. Looks like it may be first down and goal to go for South. And
Conley on the carry. Brought down by number 24 of the Royals, Tommy Kopech.
Tommy Kopech was in there. They've got 4th down on the marker. And it is 4th down. 4th and 1. So a little too quick on my part giving the first down. 4th and 1. Big play right here for both teams. 9.5 to go in the first half. Beagle will hand off, and Conley's hit, but he leans forward. He's going to get the... Well, we'll wait and see. Royals think they've stopped him. The fans think they've stopped him, but they spot that ball close to the 1-yard line. I believe it's going to be 1st and goal. Canton South will retain possession, and that is 1st down and goal to go. Closer to the 2-yard line, but Conley needed 1. He got 2, and the South drive will continue. The big play on this drive, 43 yards through the air from Brody Beagle to Torres Conley, and then his brother Braylon has done the rest. From the 2-yard line, Conley gets it again. He's hit and stacked up. South signaling touchdown, but they're the only ones. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 1. Give him 1 yard on that one. Just inside the 1 is where they spot it. 21-0 CVCA leading, but Canton South knocking on the door here. Steady diet to Conley. Stuffed again. Does he get there? No. 3rd down. And actually, that time it was not Conley. The first carry of the night for Diego Bautista goes for no gain. Bautista, who got the start a week ago, the 5'8", 190-pound senior. 3rd down and goal from the half-yard line. It's the 4th play in a row from inside the 2. The Royals trying to stand tall. Out of the eye. Quarterback sneak, and Beagle leans forward, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Canton South. Touchdown, Brody Beagle.
Touchdown, number 16, Brody Beagle.
2nd rushing touchdown of the year for the senior quarterback from Canton South, and the Wildcats are on the board. 21-6 here as you watch it again. Finally, they go with a quarterback keeper, and he followed his center right into the end zone. The big man up front, Blake Walters, 6 foot, 350 pounds at that center spot. And when he leans forward, there's going to be a path. Gavin McGirt out to kick the extra point. The holder is Torres Conley. Jackson Conley is the long snapper, and they are running in a player here off the sideline with the play clock still with 19 seconds to go on it. Some confusion on this, and now more players running in and out, and I believe they're going to have to take a timeout. Just a little bit of a fire drill going on here on the sidelines for Canton South on the extra point. So timeout, Wildcats.
Royal fans, if you're looking for a Bible-based education in Northeast Ohio, look no further than
And then during this timeout,
with the Christian leaders from
we're going to talk about how it started. Tonight marks the 6th birthday of CVCA Livestream. 6 years ago tonight, we launched in a driving rainstorm down at Fairless. Said it 100 times or more. After 3 lightning delays, it's a small miracle that we didn't get electrocuted, and we'll talk about that a bit more right after this extra point attempt. So the lineup snafus corrected. Conley the holder, Conley the long snapper, and Gavin McGirt, the kicker. Snap is down, kick is up. It's low, but it does get through the uprights. It's good. So, 7:51 to go here in the second quarter, and CVCA's lead is trimmed to 21-7. So once again, how it started. It is the 6th anniversary of CVCA Livestream. Here we are. This is broadcast number 179, gentlemen. 179 times we've lit it up and brought CVCA Livestream to you. It's the 46th CVCA football game streamed. 43 of those on the varsity side, 3 JV games back in 2020. Special thank you to Bill and Melissa Simmons, who, along with my wife, were the catalyst to get this endeavor off the ground at the start. To Chad Darr, who's been alongside since the second ever game at Northwest. To Sean Mosher, who's been with me for, get this, 114 hockey games. We've done a lot of hockey. And to John Powell for his hours of counsel and insight and direction. It would take too long to thank everyone, but thank you to those of you who have helped financially to support CVCA Livestream over the years. The equipment you see and the pictures on the screen and the production capability we have is because of your financial support to help us defray costs and build out our equipment stack. I will give a special shout out to my son Zach Nichols, now a senior at Purdue. He was the young man behind the camera for the first 3 years of football broadcast, and without him, well, there wouldn't be CVCA Livestream. We hope you continue to enjoy the coverage. It remains professional production, 100% volunteer staffing. Happy birthday to CVCA Livestream. Here's to 179 more broadcasts or more in the years to come. Kickoff for Canton South. It's short, and Reed Jones is going to field it on the 24. He's going to be physical, getting out to almost the 40-yard line. Jones fielded it on the sidelines. He did not want to go out of bounds, and he did not until he finally was taken out by about 3 Canton South Wildcats. A return of about 16 yards. He had little room to work with, but he made the most of it. First down and 10 Royals, 7:46 to go here in the second quarter. So the Royals offense back on the field. They've had the ball 3 times. They've got 3 touchdowns. That's pretty efficient, as they spotted actually back out on the 36-yard line, so 12 yards on that return. The defense will have to regroup after giving up that big play and then unable to stop Canton South inside the red zone. Whistles blow, and there is a flag down on the field. We'll wait for the call. It was thrown by the back judge, and it's an illegal substitution on Canton South. 12 men on the field.
Too many men on the field for the Wildcats. We'll do it again here at first down.
So first down and 5 for CVCA. And about a 5-yard run to Reed Jones. Enough for the first down, and they'll move the sticks.
Jamarian Gatlin on tackle for the Wildcats. On the carry for the Royals, senior, number 7, Reed Jones.
Jamarian Gatlin on the tackle for Canton South. Desmond Young was the leading tackler last week against their Week 1 opponent, Garraway. He had 11 tackles last week. He have not called his name out tonight. Near side run, Tommy Kopech. Kopech motoring down the field. He's out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. It is the 40. A pickup of 13 more for Tommy Kopech. First and 10 Royals already into Canton South territory. We did not get a chance to bring you first quarter stats. We'll bring you mid-second quarter stats right now. If we can pop them up on the screen in between plays. And this is current. 232 total yards to 95. Every single yard for the Royals on the ground. Royals leading 21-7. First and 10 CVCA, and it's going to be Kopech again. Flag is down. And I believe this play is going to come back.
On the carry for the Royals, number 24, junior Tommy Kopech. Flag on the play.
And for the second time tonight, it looks like they are going to get CVCA's offensive line
Flag is holding against the Royals
with a holding call. And I believe it is number 67 who is in the game. That is Jonathan Gary.
Back the ball up 10 yards.
So Gary getting a look at the offensive line. But they whistle him for a 10-yard mark off, so they'll move the ball back to midfield. First down and 10. Check that, first down and 20 for the Royals. Moving down to 6:45 to go here in the first half. CVCA 21, Canton South 7. Left side run, Mason Fry burrows forward. He'll pick up 5, half of the penalty yardage. It's second down and 15 yards to go.
Number 22, Jamarian Gatlin.
Again, Gatlin on the tackle for Canton South. They move it back to the 46, so only 4 yards officially for Fry. 2nd and 16. Royals have attempted only 1 pass tonight. Looks like a false start on Canton South will stop things in their tracks right there. And actually they call false start on CVCA, so they're going to move it back 5 yards. And the Royals shooting themselves in the foot on this drive. That's the 2nd penalty just on this series. It'll be 2nd and 21. It's been a steady diet on the ground. We'll see if they keep it on the ground here or will they put the ball in the hands of the senior quarterback, Alex Mamoni. Just 2 of 10 a week ago, 0 of 1 tonight. Run game, and it's Zach Anderson who's having the game of his life. Anderson down near the 40-yard line. He's going to pick up nearly 11. He does pick up 11, but the whistle blows. Everybody gets up, so I think everybody's going to be all right. So he got about half of it back. 3rd down and either 10 or 11, depending where they put the ball down. They will put it down on the 41. So 3rd and 11. Official timeout. And the referee coming to the near sideline. Nick Cook looking for an explanation for CVCA. And you see the conversation is a quick one. And it looks like the festivities completed. 3rd down and 11 when we continue. Royals 21, Canton South 7. And they wind the clock here, 5:33 to go. So once again, a decision. Royals in a tight formation. Mamoni under center. Blitz shown. The Royals will run it left. Zach Anderson's going to break into open field again. He's not going to get to the end zone, but he's going to get more than enough for a first down all the way down to the 20-yard line. 20 more yards for Zach Anderson. They'll spot him on the 21-yard line. And what a night for Zach Anderson. 149 yards on the ground for the CVCA senior. Still time on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. 5 minutes to go. If Zach Anderson keeps this up, we're going to have to break out the record book because he's going to be nearing us the levels where we have to take a look at some of the best performances in CVCA running back history. Timeout, Canton South.
We're excited to welcome you to our community here. Remember to stop by the VIP tent located behind the end zone on the scoreboard side.
South calls timeout.
The opportunity to meet you, answer your
And that's going to give us an opportunity to talk about the CVCA golf outing that is coming up. Registration is now open for participants and sponsors for the 2026 CVCA Booster Club Golf Outing on Saturday, October 3rd at Fox Den Golf Course in Stowe. Scan the QR code on your screen right now to register or to sign up as a sponsor. The primary mission of the Booster Club is to support CVCA student athletes by financially assisting all the athletic programs. The Booster Club helps pay for state tournaments, for uniforms, for J-term trips, team devotional materials, and anything extra that the coaches need to fulfill the CVCA Athletics mission statement, building Christ-like character as ambassadors for Christ through competitive excellence. Mark those calendars for Saturday, October 3rd. Get signed up right now for the 2026 CVCA Booster Club Golf Outing. And it's 1st down and 10 as we come back. Canton South uses their 2nd timeout. They've got 1 remaining. Once again, the scoreboard not working other than the time, so the timeout's not updating, and flag flies. And it is too many men on the field once again for Canton South. We've got a lot of penalties lined up to show you on our scoreboard and our scorebug, but too many men is not one of them. So we'll just move the flag icon out of the way, and it's first down and 5 for CVCA. Kopech, left side, 10, 5, and he's out of bounds. Touchdown saving tackle right there by Gavin McGirt. The junior.
24, Tommy Kopech on the carry for CVCA. Forced out of bounds by number 10, Jeremiah Gavin.
Out of bounds at the 6-yard line, but there is a flag down, so this one may come back. Getting a little sloppy here in the second quarter on both sides. It's a face mask against Canton South, and so the run will count 15 yards for Tommy Kopech on the run, and half the distance to the goal, just 3 yards on the penalty against Canton South. But it sets up first down and goal to go for the Royals from the 3. Anderson and Kopech split in the backfield. Mamoni under center. Reed Jones to the left as a lead blocker. Kopech gets it, and he's going to waltz right into the end zone. Touchdown, Tommy Kopech, his second of the first half, the 4th of the game for the Royals, and CVCA's lead goes back to 20 points. It is 27-7. Jones out front. Zach Anderson with the lead block. Jones sealed the corner, and Kopech didn't have to do much other than get to the blue paint. He did it, and the Royals are up 27-7 with a point after touchdown to come. McQuillan lines it up, puts a boot into it, and he's 4 for 4. 4 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the first half, and CVCA leads this one 28-7.
Number 24, Tommy Kopech.
4 possessions and 4 touchdowns for CVCA. What a difference a week makes for the Royals. And boy, I just look down there. There are a ton of cheerleaders that you're seeing out there. Looks like we've got the middle school cheerleaders. We've got junior Royal cheerleaders. And they are all celebrating a 28-7 lead here late in the third quarter for the Royals. The Royals on that last drive were headed right into a blinding sunset. Beautiful night, as we said here at Royal Stadium. It couldn't get much better for football on a Friday night in Northeast Ohio. Stick around for halftime coming up. We've got all the normal features that we typically have on halftime. We'll take a look at the Royals' athletic prowess. We'll look at Royals at the next level. We've got an outstanding This Day in Royals history coming up for you. But we're most excited to get an opportunity to talk with our brand new athletic director, Rico Bell. We'll have him up here at halftime with us. So stick around and hear from Rico. He's getting a good taste of his first Friday night lights action here at Royal Stadium. McQuillan's kick is deep, and this one's going to be fielded by McGirt. He'll drop it into the end zone for a touchback. And on the muff into the end zone automatically, as soon as that ball goes into the end zone, it is called dead, unlike the NFL or college. And so it'll be a touchback for the Royals. First and 10 for Canton South coming up at the 20-yard line. So Bedre Bardawal looking for win number 1 at Canton South as their head coach. It's a lot of work to do, and I'm not sure it's going to come tonight. The Royals in control, but the defense, who gave up a long drive and a long pass play on the last drive and then could not shut down Canton South's run game in the red zone, has got an opportunity to step up here and impose their will again with Canton South in the long field in front of him. Brody Beagle's back out, the senior in the shotgun formation. Fakes the handoff, throws, and looking to go over the top once again. And that is a flag down, a tough call against the CVCA defense. Pass interference is going to be the call. They were looking for Torres Conley out there. So unlike the professional levels, it's more like college. It is going to be offensive pass interference, which is not a spot foul. It is 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, so Canton South will move it out to the 35-yard line here, where they'll have it first down and 10. We mentioned 3 new faces in the secondary for CVCA. You got Zach Anderson on that far side. Jackson Cruz is the cornerback over there who's got the responsibility to try to keep Torres Conley in check. On the near side here, Shane Cook, and the cornerback is Moses Bader, who is quite a story. Run play to Braylon Conley. Couple of yards, second down and 8. We mentioned Moses Bader. He's in the starting lineup on defense for CVCA at cornerback, a senior. He's not played football since 7th grade, but heck of an athlete. He's got a 3-point shot like nobody else on the CVCA boys basketball team, but wanted to play football this year, and Moses is inserted himself right in the starting lineup at the first scrimmage this year. I recall watching the players and saying, who is that number 80? He certainly made an impression, not only on yours truly, but on the coaching staff as well. Beagle in trouble in the backfield, fumble on the play on the strip sack, and CVCA is going to have the ball. Number 87 for the Royals, Carter Walkley on the recovery, but Beagle run down from behind, and the Royals turn over the Wildcats, and they'll have a short field. Tommy Kopak from his linebacker position on the sack, and Carter Walkley on the scoop. The Royals have it first down and 10 with their second takeaway of the first half, deep in Canton South territory, looking for more, already up 28-7. So the Royals first down and 10. They'll spot the ball on the 25-yard line. Kopak on the strip and Walkley on the recovery. And it's Anderson and Kopak in the backfield once again. Bradley Skolnekovich split out to the near side. He's in the starting lineup wearing that number 13 this season. Skolnekovich, a junior. And the run-oriented offense for CVCA, it's a lot of blocking responsibility for the wide receiver. And Skolnekovich doing that in front of Tommy Kopak once again. Kopak gained 6, second down and 4. Kopak was escorted out of bounds by Canton South's A.J. Bennison, a senior defensive back. 2nd and 5 from the 21-yard line of South. 3:21 to go. Clock stopped with the play out of bounds. 28-7 CVCA. Kopak again. This time he's hit near the line of scrimmage. And he breaks a tackle, still going inside the 10-yard line, carrying defenders, and finally hauled down. He was hit near the line of scrimmage by Diego Bautista and just bounced right off of him. All the way down to the 10. You see it right there. He just ran right through the tackles and dragged number 7, Jaleel Jackson, down to that 10-yard line before a trio of Wildcats hauled him down. They spotted inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. First down and goal to go for the Royals. Clock still reads 3:11 to go here in the first quarter. And they'll wind it at 3:11. Out of the tee. And flags fly. Looked like a penalty on Canton South once again. Encroachment is the call, and they'll be half the distance to the goal line. They'll march it from the 8 to the 4, 4 yards on the penalty. South has already been penalized 6 times for 37 yards in this one. Frankly, it seems like more.
First and goal for the Royals.
It's the second time Canton South has been penalized with the Royals inside the 10-yard line. So out of the tee once again from the 4. Anderson for his 3rd of the night. Can he get there? Yes, he will. Touchdown, Zach Anderson. Touchdown. CVCA. Zach Anderson with his third touchdown of the first half. And the Royals, as you watch it again, are up big here on South tonight. Right to the back of the end zone, and he hands it to the back judge. And the big night for Zach Anderson continues. Luke McQuillan, high snap, gets it off. Nice play that time by the holder, Shane Cook. And McQuillan is 5 for 5. The score, 2:36 to go in the first half. CVCA 35 and Canton South 7. 153 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half for Zach Anderson. Most of that in the first quarter. And the Royals, 306 yards offense in the first half, all of it on the ground. And we'll take a look at those in-game stats. You see it, 306 yards rushing in the first half. The Royals having their way up front. Canton South, 97 yards on the ground, 45 yards on the ground, 52 through the air, 97 overall. 35-7, a big night for CVCA up front, and a big night for senior Zach Anderson.
With 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the second quarter.
So the Wildcats taking it on the chin here. The Royals looking like the team we expected to see a week ago. They feign that onside kick pretty much every time. About once or twice a season, they will actually surprise the other team. But they'll kick it away here and in the direction of McGirt once again. He'll take it from the 4. He's out across the 20, gets a big head of steam and some open space. McGirt across the 40 and hauled down from behind at midfield. A big return of 46 yards for Gavin McGirt. On the tackle for CVCA is number 9, Jackson Cruz. We were talking about that onside kick potential for CVCA. The special teams for Canton South last week, frankly, not a good showing. They gave up an onside kick, just not expecting it. Had 4 on the line. They all retreated, and Garraway just put it right down about 10 yards and jumped on the ball. Nobody from Canton South was even looking for it. Canton South has punted a couple times tonight. Last week, they had to fake punt twice because it was just bad snaps. Beagle looks to throw. He's being hampered, rushes, finds Conley, the outlet man. Just a good job to get rid of the ball. One of the 3 Conleys, that was the running back Braylon Conley on the catch. Give him a yard. 1 yard for Beagle. Actually going to move it right back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. So a catch for no yards for Braylon Conley. McCubbin on the tackle. We mentioned during the pregame that Beagle was sacked 3 times a week ago and forced to scramble 12 other times. Been more run heavy tonight, but this time he's going to run and get sacked a second time. I think that's a designed run. But Reed Jones will get credited with a tackle for loss. We'll let the coaching staff decide whether that's a sack or not, but we're going to give him one. Reed Jones on the sack. Loss of 1. It's 3rd down and 11. A minute 24 to go, clock running. Royals do have 2 timeouts remaining, but are up big. 28, check that, 35-7 now. We look over toward the clock, which is the scoreboard not working, as we mentioned multiple times. And so I had to look up at our screen right beside me to see the actual score. Nice pitch and catch on the far side. This time the catch made by number 7, Jaleel Jackson. And you see that when Beagle gets time, he can put it right on the dot. And Jackson with a first down pickup. 15 yards, make it 16 on the slant pattern. Jackson Cruz on the tackle, and the Wildcats move the chains as we're under a minute to go, clock running. They'll spot it at the 35-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Beagle barks out the signals out of the shotgun, drops back. He's going to look to the center of the field, another crossing pattern in front of the first down marker. Actually, they're going to give him the first down, which is generous. So the clock will stop. The catch was caught by number 22, Jamarian Gatlin. Anderson in the tackle. They rewind the clock with 30 seconds to go. Ball on the 24-yard line of the Royals. So Canton South trying to get something here before halftime. They will get the second half kickoff. Beagle looks to throw again. Now he's under pressure. Evades one. Still running, and he throws it. Ball's on the ground, and it's a live ball. CVCA with the ball. It's Carter Walkley all the way to the end zone. CVCA touchdown. Walkley on the scoop and score. Flag down. Whistles blowing, so we're going to see if the score will hold up. So sure we'll have a replay of that. It did kind of look like Beagle was trying to throw the ball, but the referee did not signal. There was no signal for a forward pass. Here's the play as we get to watch it again. Beagle rolls out, evades one potential tackler, is running with the ball. That should be an open hand fumble and should be a CVCA touchdown. Carter Walkley picked it up and just ran all the way to the end zone. There is a flag down on the play, so we're going to wait and see the referee sort this out. But this should be, or if it's done correctly, should be a CVCA touchdown. It is not yet halftime, as even though we got a little ahead of ourselves here. The clock has run out, but there is a penalty on this play, and we're waiting for the referees to signal. It's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on Canton South. So at the very least, it'll be an untimed down, depending on what the referees call here. But this absolutely should have been a CVCA touchdown. There's also a block in the back against the Royals that is going to nullify the touchdown. Unsportsmanlike against Canton South. So we've got a lot to sort out in this play, and I believe the half is going to be over as the penalties should cancel themselves out.
Flag on the play, block the back against the Royals on the return. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Canton South. We will have one untimed play.
So there will be an untimed down at the end of this. The only question is who's going to have the ball. I believe it will be CVCA ball on a fumble by the quarterback, Brody Beagle.
No, he wasn't. It might have been.
Both teams milling around. It looks like they're going to spot the ball at about the 35-yard line. And it is still confusion. The down markers don't know exactly where they're supposed to be. It looks like the Canton South defense is on the field. And they finally spot the ball on the Canton South 45-yard line. It is going to be CVCA's ball, first down and 10. There's no time left on the clock, but there is an untimed down because of the penalties. So, and it looks like CVCA has 2 receivers out wide to the right, a single receiver wide to the left. The Royals looking like they're going to pass this play. Whistles blow, and timeout CVCA. It is the longest last minute of play in perhaps CVCA Royals history. That just gives us an opportunity to remind you that we've got an outstanding halftime coming up for you. Rico Bell, our new athletic director, will join us here for our halftime conversation. We'll talk about Royals at the next level. We've got an outstanding This Day in Royals history coming up for you. Don't miss it. Don't go away here at halftime. 35-7 CVCA leading once again Coming up is an untimed down after a fumble and a recovery by CVCA. It looked like a scoop and score for a touchdown, but an illegal block in the back penalty wiped that out. Unsportsmanlike on Canton South gave the Royals the opportunity to have this untimed down. They come out in the same formation. Mamoni is under center, single back in the backfield, three receivers topside, single receiver on the bottom end, and the Royals are going to run it. After all that, Tommy Kopech in the open field. Kopech following some blocks, still going on the near side, and that's going to do it. Kopech's going to be ridden out of bounds on the 23-yard line. We've got for 25 for Canton South. Desmond Young coming up a little bit gimpy, but after all that, Kopech gains 22 yards, and that's 22 more for the Royals, who go to halftime now with a lead of 35-7. What a first half for CVCA. The Royals' run game, 328 yards on the ground, and CVCA with a big lead with 24 minutes in the books. Stay tuned for the CVCA and Canton South marching bands, the out-of-town scoreboard coming up as well, and our regular segments like Royals at the Next Level and This Day in Royals History. But first, we're going to pause now for a word from Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your 2026.
It is halftime here at Royal Stadium, and you've just watched that video on CVCA. The best way to understand the CVCA difference is to spend some time here with our community of students, families, and faculty and staff. We encourage you to plan a visit. School has just started, but Shadow Days will begin again this fall on Tuesdays and Fridays. Applications for the 2027-28 school year will begin on October the 1st. You can find information about all this and more at cvcaroyals.com/admissions. Halftime here at Royal Stadium, and the Canton South Marching Band is taken to the field. We're going to let you enjoy the Canton South Marching Band, who entertains the crowd here at Royal Stadium. It is halftime here at Royal Stadium. The Canton South Marching Band entertaining the crowd here. We're going to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up next. As we look at scores from out of town of CVCA opponents, Woodridge, our opponent next week, is leading Brookside 21-13 in the second quarter. The Lake Blue Streaks leading Boardman 13-0 at the half. Boardman visits Royal Stadium in about 3 weeks. Conference games, Lake Catholic 14 leading Avon Lake 10 at halftime. No score, Holy Name and Gilmore at halftime. West G surprisingly leading NDCL 7-0 in the second quarter. Another low-scoring game, Padua 3, Benedictine 0 at the half. Mayfield 23, Elyria Catholic 7, and Revere and Garfield will play tomorrow afternoon. CVCA athletic highlights. This week, the cross-country team kicks off their season tomorrow with the Golden Eagle Invitational down at Glen Oak High School in Canton. The boys were just ranked number 1 in the preseason poll in Division II. Boys and girls golf. Golf teams have been on the links competing since the start of the month. The boys are 4-0 in match play so far this year with wins against Lake Catholic, St. Vincent, St. Mary, Field, and yesterday over Twinsburg. Senior Andrew Van Halla recorded a school record 3-under par on a 9-hole round at Glen Eagles Golf Club yesterday. Congratulations to him. Girls have struggled to a 0-4 start in match play, but those losses came against the same two teams, NDCL and Padua. Boys soccer is off to a 4-0 start, backing up that run to the 2025 Division III state semifinal. They avenged the loss in the semifinal in the season opener against Aurora with a 5-2 win. Then in a game here, seen right here on CVCA live stream, they won the Battle of Cuyahoga Lake Road with a 3-0 win against Walsh. A pair of clean slates followed with identical 4-0 wins against New Philly and Central Christian. Has them undefeated heading into their North Coast Conference opener next Tuesday here against Lake Catholic. Girls soccer is undefeated as well, opening the season with a pair of shutouts against Stowe and Northwest before a 2-2 draw on Wednesday against Buckeye. Girls volleyball opened the season on the road this week with a pair of wins, 3-1 in sets against Boardman and a straight set victory against Columbia. They'll take on Walsh here tomorrow in another battle of Cuyahoga Lake Road. Girls tennis, been busy. Already 5-3 in matches this week. 4 matches just this week alone. The Royals have recorded wins against Holy Name and NDCL this week in a split of contests. Be sure to follow CVCA Athletics on social media at CVCA Athletics on Facebook, X, and Instagram to never miss a moment of CVCA Athletic news. Right now we're going to transition and bring in our athletic director, Rico Bell. We get to take a look at the Canton South Marching Band a bit longer as we get ready for the halftime interview with Rico. Got to pick this up to take this out here. Hey, computer, we're going to move some stuff. And guys, are you in the shot or no? Halftime here at Royal Stadium, and we're about ready to have an interview with Athletic Director Rico Bell. Rico, welcome to CVCA. And welcome to CVCA Livestream.
That's right.
All right, here we are. You're getting your first look at Friday Night Lights here at Royal Stadium. New family tailgate night. What's your impression of the events here at Royal Stadium today?
Oh, man, it's been an honor. You know, you get a packed crowd like this to watch our athletes do their best and compete with excellence. It's an honor to see them play out there, and I'm obviously loving the score as well. So
it's a big difference from last week, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So you came to CVCA from a leadership role in Northeast Ohio with Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Yep.
I'm curious, what did you learn at FCA that you can bring and translate to leading an athletic department here at CVCA?
Yeah, one of the many things FCA did great is take advantage of the kingdom of God and advancing that through sports. So sports is naturally on a pedestal, and we want to utilize that to advance the kingdom of God and present with people and everyone we play with the gospel. And we do that how we play and obviously the message of the gospel of Jesus Christ, but we can do that by competing with excellence. And FCA did a unique job of reaching coaches and athletes where they're at, and I'm looking forward to doing that here when they're touching no way spiritually for them.
So how are you going to do that with a lot of coaches, tons of coaches?
Yeah.
I know I've talked to your staff, but how many coaches you have on staff here at CVCA? I'm not sure you know that number.
Yeah, we got
yet.
over 140 coaches. So we have a great team of people who are invested into athletics here and want to see the kingdom of God advance through sports. So I have a great team behind me, great assistant directors, Christy Mitchell, Jason Herblay, Ben Miller is also on staff as well as our information director. So I got a great team. So I'm thankful that we can work together and I can inherit this great blessing with a staff here to get that done.
That's fantastic. So, all right, any surprises so far?
No surprises.
None
so
whatsoever.
Far. No surprises so far.
Not your computer code, nothing like that.
No. Getting some apps on my phone right, but that's about it. No surprises thus far.
No surprises. Expectations coming in. Has it met what you expected?
Yeah, everyone's been so hospitable. Lovely to make my family and I. It has truly been a blessing to be a part of our community now and getting involved even more so. And it's big fall, so we're here and ready to go. So the expectation has definitely been met seeing this first game,
Absolutely.
home game.
So I just come up with a couple unique questions that aren't on the list. So toughest interview question when you were interviewing?
Toughest interview question? Okay. I think the weakness question is a tough question. What's your biggest weakness? Or I think that's a tough question.
Yeah.
Because
for everyone.
I think it's a tough question.
You want to turn that into a strength somehow, right?
Oh, man, yeah. But you also want to be honest, right?
Yeah,
because everyone's got weaknesses.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Yeah.
You come in as a football player.
Yeah.
Malone College.
Yep. Play some ball there.
Rookie of the year in Iowa in the AFL.
Pro ball doing that. Yep.
Cup of coffee up north of the border.
Yep. Cup of coffee.
Your best football memory as a player?
I would say my year playing in Phoenix Suns Arena versus Arizona Rattlers in Arena. That was part of my favorite memory. Really close game. We didn't finish the game completely as a team, but really close game, and got to play against my actual high school teammate on the field. I had a pretty good game, a couple sacks and forced fumbles. So it was really cool to have that all in one spot and have a memory built forever with one of my high school teammates and one of my best friends. So that was great.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
All right. When you aren't on the sidelines, right, and you're not cheering for our teams, how do you and your family like to spend your time? And better yet, you got a big family, right? How are they all adjusting to becoming big fans of CVCA?
Yeah, so some of them out there right now, we really love hanging out together, trying some new foods. We're donut connoisseurs, so we got to find the right donut spot up here.
Who is we?
Well. My family's 5 children.
Right. That's a quiver, as we call that.
Yeah, quiver,
the Christian
right? And some arrows, too, right?
Yeah.
Sending them out. So my oldest is Isaac. Ordry's my next. She's 6. Titus is 4, and I got twin, almost 2-year-olds.
And who's taking
Abram
care of them?
and Joanna. My wife is taking the twins home. They need to go to sleep, and my 2 oldest are here with me right now outside.
Tori, right?
Yep, Tori's my wife. Yep.
Yes.
Yep,
all right.
absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to take it easy on you this first time, but
no problem.
we appreciate you joining us here.
No doubt.
You dressed up for us. You matched in the background. It's the Science 330 halftime report.
Yep.
CVCA is up 35-7. It's Rico Bell, the new athletic director from Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. Rico, we'll let you go out and shake some more hands.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks very much.
No doubt. Take
halftime,
care.
Royals up 35-7. And up next, you're going to get a chance to take a look at the CVCA Royals marching band at halftime. It is halftime at Royal Stadium. I Love You Baby is what the CVCA Royals marching band is playing, and I Love You the score at halftime, 35-7, Royals up. Now it's time to take a look at Royals at the next level, which is what we do every week on CVCA Livestream. Trey Tucker is beginning his 4th season with the Las Vegas Raiders, and new Raiders head coach Clint Kubiak recently said that Tucker is everything that we want a player like him to be. He's got to be a playmaker for us, and he has been, and now we want to see what else we can get out of him. Well, safe to say it's going to be a big year for 2019 CVCA graduate Trey Tucker. The Raiders did wrap up their preseason last night at home against San Francisco, lost 18-12 in a game that featured 10 field goals, no touchdowns. He caught 3 passes for 25 yards as the Vegas starters played just the first 2 series. The regular season begins for the Raiders at home against the Miami Dolphins on September 13th. At the collegiate level, in Division I, 26 graduate Joey Kopech is beginning his career at Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights open the season next Thursday at home against UMass. In the Division II, III, and NAIA levels, former Royals are suiting up for the Mount Union Purple Raiders this fall. 24 graduate Ricky Levac returns for his junior year. Last year, he appeared in all 12 games and recorded 3 interceptions and a forced fumble. This year, he'll be joined by his brother, Charlie, as well as former CVCA 26 graduates Braden Harris and Dirk Geiger, all of whom will try to work their way up the depth chart. The third-ranked Purple Raiders travel to Chicago next week to open the season on September 5th in a top 5 NCAA Division III matchup against the number 5 ranked Wheaton Thunder. 23 graduate Dylan Byers is set to begin his final season with the Worcester Scots. Got to say hello to his dad earlier tonight. The former Royals offensive lineman will see his team open up on Thursday night at home against Wilmington College. 3 other 26 Royals graduates are beginning their collegiate careers this fall. Nick Schober is at John Carroll. The Blue Streaks open a week from Saturday at Carnegie Mellon. Nathan Cook is on the roster at Grove City, and the Wolverines host Cortland on September 5th at noon. And at the NAIA level, Brady Martin is getting his first taste of college football as we speak tonight. The 9th-ranked Wildcats are hosting number 8 Dort from Iowa tonight in Marion, Indiana. And with that, we will turn our eyes to this day in Royals history. This is the 4th time CVCA has played a game on August 28th, but the first time the Royals have been at home. The 2 most recent games played on this date have not gone the Royals' way. CVCA lost the season opener at Woodridge 42-0 in 2016, and the Royals dropped a 42-26 outcome at the start of the 2020 COVID season at Fairless. That was the first ever CVCA live stream game. So for that reason, we need to turn the history books all the way back to 2009 for this edition of This Day in Royals History. It was the season opener that year, and the young Royals had just 7 seniors and 16 upperclassmen on the roster, with 6 freshmen in the starting lineup. And they hit the road for a game at East Canton, who was coming off a playoff season. First half did not go to plan. The Royals were struggling and headed into the break down 12-0. The team needed a spark, and head coach Ray Caroscia looked down the bench and made a change at quarterback. Into the game went another freshman. Caroscia called on his son, Antonio. CVCA leaned heavily on the run game, and Alex Utley scored a late third-quarter touchdown to close the gap to 12-7. Nearly a quarter later, CVCA's Nathan Rosenberger barreled in from the 5-yard line, and CVCA had the lead for the first time, 13-12, with 4 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the game. They would have to wait all night to attempt the point-after touchdown. Lightning struck, and the game was suspended to resume the next day. We had all night to think about what play to run, Caroscia told me this week, of the 2-point conversion play opportunity, but when the game resumed the next day, the try failed. The defense had to hold East Canton. They tried their best, but they could not. East Canton's Josh Van Voorhees broke off a 15-yard touchdown run with just 37 seconds to go to give the hosts an 18-13 lead. After an incomplete pass stopped the clock on the first play of the next drive, the situation looked dire, but we dug out some old-school video to show you what happened next. Here's young Caroscia. He's going to roll out to his right against East Canton on this night 16, 17 years ago, and he found a receiver behind the defense for a CVCA touchdown to win the game 19-18. Ben Shepard was on the business end of that pass play, and that 55-yard touchdown pass gave the Royals the lead and the victory on this day and night and the next day in Royals history, August 28th and 29th, 2009. First half in the books here at Royal Stadium, and as we look over, do we have any highlights from the guys? Yes, we do. We're going to roll them. I bet you we're going to have a lot of Zach Anderson highlights to show you here in just a moment. And we do. Here's the first touchdown of the contest. Anderson barreling into the end zone to give the Royals a 6-0 lead early in the first quarter, and he was just getting started. Next drive for CVCA, Anderson again from the 42-yard line. And he has his second touchdown of the game, 14-0 CVCA after the extra point. Brody Beagle for Canton South had something cooking until this play, and Zach Anderson again getting in his name in the scorebook with the interception on a pass that was intended for Jackson Conley. That set up CVCA, and Zach Anderson another time into the end zone. The Royals 21-0 lead at that point. Beagle called his own number after about 4 plays inside the 5-yard line to get Canton South on the board. And here's Tommy Kopech for the Royals. And then a fumble and a recovery. Kopech on the strip and Carter Walkley on the scoop. It sets up the next touchdown from Anderson, his third of the first quarter. And the final crazy play of the first half, Beagle rolling out. He gets hit right here, stripped. Carter Walkley picks it up, and it looks like a scoop and score for CVCA. The referee's on his horse, but Carter Walkley's on a much faster horse. Unfortunately, a block in the back called the play back. No touchdown for the Royals. There was an unsportsmanlike conduct on Canton South, about a 5-minute delay, and here we are. The final play did not get to the end zone, and that's where we stand at halftime. 35-7 CVCA. And some good news at halftime. It looks like our friends next door have got the scoreboard up and working for the first time tonight. And so we're going to take a moment here and try and reconfigure our setup to tie into that scoreboard so you have that at your convenience and viewing pleasure during the second half. About minute 40 to go before the second half gets underway. We'll be right back. Welcome back to second half action here at CVCA live stream. Royal Stadium scoreboard finally working, and CVCA has been working since the start. Football team's up 35-7. The Royals will kick off to start this second half. Luke McQuillan's out there, and it's Canton South's Braylon Conley and Gavin McGirt. And again, McGirt will field from his 6 across the 20-yard line, and this time the Royals' coverage much better than the last couple. McGirt taken down at about the 23-yard line. First down and 10 for Canton South to start the second half. So Canton South with work to do here in the second half. They'll come out. Rhodey Beagle once again. Royals with a 28-point lead. One score away from a running clock. Canton South had one big drive in the first half. A big play from Beagle to Torres Conley. Got them inside the red zone, and Beagle finished it off with a touchdown sneak from the 1. Conley, one of 3 Conley brothers. Not much doing there, and a late flag is going to go on Jackson Cruz, who came in after the play. And an undisciplined play from the Royals will cost them 15 yards. We're waiting for the signal. It did look like Cruz came in late. Dead ball, personal foul against the Royals, and it was a late hit. So a 15-yard penalty right out of the gate after the Royals defense had stuffed Braylon Conley for no gain. It'll move the ball out across the 40. And the Wildcats will have better field position to start with, right out to the 40-yard line. We'll get a look at halftime stats, plus a couple plays in just a moment. Long play. Again, looking for Conley out there, and it is picked off by CVCA on the far side. Moses Bader. And it looks like he did not come down with it. You get another look at it. No interception. Could not finish the catch. But a good pass breakup by Bader. So 2nd and 10. Looked like Bader had his helmet almost torn off as the receiver there turned defender tried to break up that play. Second down. Royals jump on the hard count on the far side. Tommy Kopech and Paul Tepley over there. Both of them moved. Offsides against CVCA. Encroachment. And the Royals with 2 penalties here in the first 3 plays of the second half. Not a good start. So the Wildcats have moved it 20 yards, all on penalties so far in this drive. This time they'll move it about another 8 or 9 yards on the ground. Conley gets the first down, and they'll move the chains. We'll take a look at those stats just into the second half. CVCA all on the ground, 328 yards. Canton South 44 on the ground, 78 through the air. 3 turnovers in that first half for Canton South. So CVCA dominating tonight early here in the third quarter. But having said that, a pair of penalties, 20 yards and an 8-yard run, and it's 1st and 10 Wildcats in Royals territory on the 47-yard line. Another big run for Conley. Again, he was the leading rusher for this Canton South Wildcat team a year ago, and we're seeing why. Get another look right here. Another first down. Jace Mankey makes the tackle. $11 yards in that play, and Conley's up to 63 yards from the line of scrimmage on 15 rushes. 1st and 10, Canton South, ball on the 37-yard line of the Royals. And Bedre Bardawal has to like what he sees in this first drive so far from his Wildcats. Not much on that play. Conley carries again, only gets 1. 2nd down and 9 from the 36. Beagle to pass, being rushed, throws, and this one's picked. No doubt about it. Another interception for the Royals. Jace Mankey gets his first takeaway. The CVCA junior linebacker stepped in front of that pass and records the 4th takeaway of the night for CVCA. Beagle rolls to his left, and Mankey right there. Beagle never saw him, and the Royals turn away the Wildcats again. Jace Mankey for CVCA with a big play. Getting a chance to start this season. And you see him right there, making a big play from that linebacker spot. And the Royals start first down and 10 from the 30-yard line. And they'll keep it on the ground. They'll keep it with a big play. And it's a race. And the Royals are going to win the race. Tommy Kopech, 70 yards to the end zone. Touchdown, CVCA. One play, 70 yards, and Kopech is in the end zone for the 3rd time tonight. And with that touchdown, the Royals lead balloons to 41-7 with a difference of 34 points. We've entered running clock territory, and it'll be a quick second half unless Canton South can come back. So a big night on the ground continues for CVCA. Both Zach Anderson and Tommy Kopech with 3 scores apiece. Luke McQuillan 6 for 6 on points after touchdown. And that most accurate kicker status in CVCA history from the point after touchdown dot continues. 42-7 CVCA. And now Kopech has actually overtaken Zach Anderson. Kopech 197 yards on 13 carries. Anderson 153 yards on 9 carries. And the Royals in all 398 on the ground. That does have us scurrying to the record book, and we're going to try and find some of the best games in Royals history on the ground. No passing yards tonight. The Royals haven't needed any. And the crowd here tonight is just loving it. Busiest man tonight for Canton South has been Gavin McGirt, returning all these kickoffs. Luke McQuillan's going to need a ice bath for his leg, I think, after this one as well. Canton South retreats after CVCA continues to show a potential onside kick. And it's in the direction of McGirt again, although they switch spaces, and I think this is going to be Conley. He jukes, but can't get far, barely out to the 20-yard line if he's lucky. Late flag on this one once again. And we'll see what the call is. We wait for the call as you watch it again. Referee still having a conversation as the replay continues. Dead ball, personal foul against CVCA. So And then they call a personal foul against Canton South as well. So they will offset, and Canton South will get the return out to about the 18-yard line. Or will they? They actually mark off 11 yards. So it is not offsetting. It is half the distance to the goal line. The personal foul is only on Canton South. I've been notified that he made a mistake signaling to CVCA first and then corrected that and signaled toward Canton South. So they'll mark it half the distance to the goal. They'll spot it at the 10-yard line, and Canton South will have a long field to go once again. So Brody Beagle back out. The clock runs, running clock situation now with a 35-point lead for the Royals. And they've got 4 receivers in the pattern, and they're going to throw it. Streak pattern, far side, and it is incomplete. Good coverage on the far side of the field by CVCA. Zach Anderson out there. And the intended receiver was Jamarian Gatlin, and he is unable to get up. Perhaps a cramp as you watch it again. Anderson step for step with Gatlin. And now the concern is for the Canton South senior wide receiver. Next week, the CVCA season continues. The Royals will spend the next 2 weeks on the road. Next week, it's a short trip over to Woodridge. CVCA has had the better of it. It's been a series with streaks. The Royals won the first 7 games of the series with Woodridge back in the decade of the 2000s. In the 2010s, almost completely owned by Woodridge, they won 5 straight. They won 6 straight against CVCA. And then we flipped the calendar to the 2020s, and CVCA's won 5 straight. So overall, 12 for CVCA, 6 for Woodridge. We're in the CVCA decade, so the Royals will be favored next week, it looks like, if things continue. So at Woodridge next week, 2 weeks from now, on Saturday, the Royals pay a return visit to Akron Garfield, who have visited here. It's the back end of a home and home. That'll be a Saturday game at Garfield. And then on the 18th of September, we return here to Royal Stadium for the first of a 3-game homestand. Boardman will visit Royal Stadium for the first time. The Royals went down to the Youngstown area last year and defeated Boardman, so it's the return of that home and home. And then, hard to believe that's the halfway mark in the season. We continue with another 2 games in that homestand, the beginning of conference play in the North Coast Conference. Lake Catholic and Holy Name will have all 3 of those games on CVCA live stream. Canton South, well, they finally get home after 2 games on the road to start the season. They are home next Friday night against Akron East, who we saw here last fall during the playoffs. Second down for South as Gatlin has gone to the sideline. Trips receivers on the near side, but they're going to stick on the ground with Conley. And Conley's going to break one into the open field. 15 yards on the pickup. Braylon Conley's night continues to be a good one. Shane Cook out there to save the touchdown potentially. He was the last man, and it's a pickup of 15 yards for Conley. First down and 10. Quick third quarter with the clock running. Wildcats again in a spread formation. 3 receivers to the near side. Conley in the backfield to the left of Beagle. He's going to get it again. And this time the Royals will meet him at the line of scrimmage, and he won't get much. Second and long. It was Bennett McCubbin in on the tackle. Spot the ball on the 27-yard line. Once again, the clock continues to run. A Ball is out across the 35-yard line out to the 37. Enough for a first down. Torres Conley on the reception. Moses Bader in on the tackle. It'll be interesting to see if the Royals starters go back out there with a 42-7 lead. Kind of doubt they will. Their night may be done. But with 198 yards, and a flag will go down here. With 198 yards, Tommy Kopech is just 2 yards off the 200-yard list, which is the minimum to get on the best rushing yards for a game at CVCA. Kyle Snyder and Fonzie Culver sit at that 200-yard mark. That's good enough only for 38th on the all-time list. The list is long. There's been a lot of great rushing games here at CVCA. 1st and 5 after the penalty. Beagle drops back, and that one is batted down, I believe, or is it caught? It is caught. And is it times like now, where it gets a little bit darker, that I realize I've got my computer glasses still on, and the distance is not what it is meant to be. But we've made it through almost 3 quarters with them, and we'll be fine. Take the flag off the top box. There is no personal foul. Apologies for that. Conley again squirts across midfield. He'll pick up 3. 2nd and 7. So we mentioned South home next week against Akron East, and then they will begin Principal's Athletic Conference play. They've got a date at home with Manchester on September 11th, and they stay at home with a 3-game homestead and wrap it up on September 18th against our old friends from Northwest. And then they visit Orville, home to Triway, at Fairless, home to Tuslaw. And they wrap up the season against Coventry, who will enter the Principal's Athletic Conference a year from now. That'll be a non-conference game to wrap up the season. But 1 year from now, it'll be a conference game. Coventry sent to the replacement for CVCA. And Brody Beagle wishes there was a replacement for CVCA right now as he's hauled down for another sack. Mason Fry gets to Beagle first, and he gets the sack. Big loss. It is the 4th, check that, the 3rd sack of the night for the CVCA defense. Beagles dropped at the Wildcats' 44-yard line. It'll set up 3rd down and 14 yards to go. Snap over the head of Beagle, and this is just going to be a big loss. And so the drive is self-destructing. All the way back to the 31-yard line, a loss of 13 yards on the play. And 4th down and a lot. It's about time where we say it's 4th down at Walsh. And there was supposed to be a big game tonight at Walsh. Unfortunately, Walsh Jesuit had their game against Springfield from the Dayton area canceled due to illness in the Springfield football program. That came out last night. And so all dark tonight at Walsh. And a snap over the head of the punter. McGirt is going to range back on it. He's in big trouble, and he's going to be taken down. The ball is loose. It's still open, a fumble, and recovered by 87 again for CVCA. That's Carter Walkley with his 2nd fumble recovery of the night. And an absolute fire drill and chaos and disaster for Canton South. The snap is over the head of McGirt. He picks it up. He's got CVCA's Jace Mankey in his face. Mankey strips the ball, and Walkley is right there, Johnny on the spot again. And the Royals with another takeaway, the 5th of the night. The 5th turnover for Canton South. You do not win many games if you turn the ball over 5 times. So the clock is stopped with 8 seconds to go at the end of 3rd quarter. And the clock has restarted, and we're going to go right down to the end of the third quarter. CVCA will have it deep in Canton South territory when the fourth quarter begins. A quick third quarter on the clock, or off the clock in this case, with the running clock, and the Royals leading it 42-7 at the end of 3 periods of play. As we hit the third quarter break, it's a chance for us to once again remind you of your opportunity to support CVCA Livestream. We mentioned it, we are celebrating the 6th anniversary of CVCA Livestream. It all began 6 years ago tonight at Fairless. Professional production, still 100% volunteer staffing. Thanks again to those of you who've in past years given to help defray costs of upgrading our equipment. That's no different this year. CVCA Livestream will continue to need your financial support, and you can do that by giving to CVCA directly. Your gifts are tax deductible. In order to make sure they find CVCA Livestream, we just ask that you reference CVCA Livestream in the comments section of the donation page when you head to that website or scan that QR code. As always, thank you for watching, and thank you for your support of CVCA Livestream. Fourth quarter about to begin. The Royals first down and 10 inside the red zone on the 18-yard line, and it is a running play up the middle. We'll try and see who's out there, and it's still the ones. I believe that was Zach Anderson on the carry. Check that. It was Will Perot who gets the carry that time. 11 for CVCA. So Mamoni still the quarterback. In the backfield, Will Perot. We see some other numbers that are new to the lineup tonight out there. We'll try and identify them and call them out. Perot in the backfield, number 11. This is a handoff to number 25 for CVC. Up the middle and down across the 5-yard line for the Royals. That is Joey Frazier, I believe. And it was Joey Frazier, sophomore. Down to the 4-yard line. Royals knocking on the door once again.
And number 87, Carter Walker.
The other back in the backfield for the Royals is number 40. Run up the middle toward the end zone, and touchdown, CVCA. The Royals put another one on the board. It's 48-7. And it is number 40 for CVCA on the touchdown. That was CVCA's Bo Lanzalotta with his first touchdown of his career. The extra point is up, and McQuillan puts it through the uprights once again. And we'd love to put Bo's picture up on the screen, but I think he missed picture day, so we do not have it. 68 on the roster. There were 65 pictures we got, and unfortunately, Bo Lanzalotta was not one of them. But, Bo, congratulations to you on your first CVCA varsity touchdown. 49-7, the Royals leading here at halftime. At halftime in the fourth quarter. Where am I at? I'm still at halftime. Nevertheless, the Royals up 49-7. Bo Lanzalotta is in the end zone, and it's a big night for CVCA. The Royals leading Canton South. And that's going to give us an opportunity to say thank you to our friends at Farinacci Pizza. CVCA Livestream, thanks to good folks at Farinacci Pizza. A local favorite since 1971. Dough made fresh daily, 100% real cheese, natural seasonings, nothing frozen. be sure to visit and taste for yourself. It's the Farinacci family recipe that dates back to the early 1900s, just the way Grandma Farinacci made it. Dedication to consistency comes from the roots of the Farinacci family heritage. Be sure to seize the opportunity to share in the tradition of Farinacci Pizza. The 3 locations to serve you in Hudson, in Brecksville, and Northfield. Visit Farinacci Pizza this weekend and check them out online at farinaccipizza.com. Farinacci Pizza keeps our bellies full in our pregame meal, and we look forward to the first Farinacci Pizza pregame meal for CVCA Livestream in 3 weeks. There's the kickoff as we're continuing here in the fourth quarter. Conley gets that one. This is Torres Conley. Weaves to the far side of the field and gets out to the 25-yard line. There's going to be better days for these Canton South Wildcats in the pack. The Royals a tough matchup. There's a reason that CVCA moved on from the Principals Athletic Conference. CVCA now operating in Division III, the school continuing to grow. If you're here tonight, you noted all the construction as the Royals community watches the building of 14 new classrooms for the middle school, which will be operational next year at this time. This year, a lot of traffic flow changes and such to make do with what's happening there, but the Royals continuing to grow. Now operating out of the North Coast Conference, Canton South, still Division IV. And as we look ahead at their schedule, Acrony should be a tough matchup next week, a playoff program from a year ago. Manchester and Northwest always tough first half of the year, but then it eases up after that. Beagle still in at quarterback. And a short run for the Wildcats. .29, I believe, on the run. Second down and 1. Or check that, second down and 9 after the gain of 1. Check that as a loss of 1, second and 11. Beagle's pass is complete. This is Jackson Conley. The previous run was number 29, Dakota Toth, who's a freshman who's into the game now as we get deeper into these rosters. Luke Martin out there on the tackle for CVCA. Clock continues to run down to under 7 minutes to go here at Royal Stadium. First and 10. They'll run it again. Toth gets it again, and he doesn't get far. Skolnekovic in there on the tackle for the Royals.
On the carry for the Wildcats. Number 13 of the Royals, Bradley Skolnekovic.
A shout out to the CVCA Livestream crew tonight. For the second time ever, a lot of this production being brought to you remotely. We mentioned John Powell in the first half, sitting in a hotel room tonight, pressing the buttons down in Bowling Green, Kentucky. John is moonlighting for some network called Peacock and NBC over the next 2 weeks, but still working here with us at CVCA Livestream. In the booth tonight, we've got Gabe, Lori, Owen Widmer, Chad Darr, and on the camera tonight, we've got Steve Bader. Yours truly, Tim Nichols, bringing you the call. And glad that you joined us tonight. And we are thankful for the miracles of technology. It allows us to get things done when we're separated by almost 500 miles as a team. Pass completion that time. Picks up about 4 yards. It's going to be close to third down and 5 from the 44-yard line. Beagle running for his life. He'll slide down, shy of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about 2. He'll pick up 3. And it is actually Luke Lloyd, number 12, who's into the game at quarterback, the freshman now, as Beagles night is done. Luke Lloyd, a 5'7", 126-pound freshman, and at that size, he did the right thing by sliding. Tomorrow down at Canton South, Luke Lloyd will be playing again as a JV game takes place between these two schools. First down run for Canton South, and they'll move the chains. It's Dakota Toth once again. Another freshman, so a freshman running back and freshman quarterback into the game. And the Royals extending the bench as well. That's Carson Warren on the tackle for CVCA. 6'1", 160 sophomore linebacker for CVCA. You're seeing a lot more of Carson Warren in the years to come. Excited to see what he can do. Toth again, and boy, from the backside is Bradley Skolnekovich to haul down Toth after a short gain of about 3 yards, second down and 7. Once again, a reminder that you can follow CVCA Livestream on social media at CVCA Livestream, Facebook, Instagram, and X. And before you log off tonight, make sure you hit the subscribe button on the CVCA Livestream YouTube channel. That will ensure that you are notified of all upcoming broadcasts. Pass play to the far side is complete, and first down yardage. A pass completion for Luke Lloyd. Jeremiah Gatlin, back from being banged up earlier, makes the catch there. It's Carson Warren again on the tackle. First and 10 down to the 38-yard line. The Canton South reserves inching down the field little by little. Lloyd will hand off. Toth will run up the middle. He's got some room. Finally, he's bottled up after about a 5-yard gain. He's down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line of CVCA. Final 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Stick around. We've got some second half highlights coming up for you post-game. And we'll look forward to being with you once again in a couple of weeks. When CVCA returns home, it'll be homecoming when Boardman comes to town on September the 18th. A steady diet of number 29 for Canton South, Dakota Toth. And Carson Warren again on the tackle for CVCA. Also in there with Skolnekovich, the older Bradley, younger brother Trevor also on the roster. Minute 30 to go, clock running. Lloyd looking to throw, lost it out, finds a receiver, and it's complete, inbounds. On the catch, it's number 9, Archer Edwards, a sophomore, 5'7", 120. Time for about 2 plays as the clock winds down to 1 minute to go here in the fourth quarter. A night dominated by CVCA. Another run, another Toth, and Skolnekovich wraps him up again. 1 play to go, unless there's something odd that happens. Total offense for the Royals tonight as we look down. 416 yards. A lot of that in the first quarter and early second quarter. The Royals dominating early as the clock winds down. Final 20 here from Royal Stadium. CVCA is going to get their first victory of the season. There is actually a penalty on this play. So there's a face mask against the Royals. They'll march that off. And that's going to about do it on this contest. Final 5 seconds ticking off the clock, and that'll be it. This one is in the books from Royal Stadium. CVCA goes to 1-1. Canton South drops to 0-2. The Royals victorious tonight, First one of 2026, CVCA 49, Canton South 7.
Fans, be sure to join us next week. Just across the road over in Woodridge.
Next week, the Royals in play, in action once again on the road, but just across the way, 2 miles down the road at Woodridge High School, Friday night, 7 o'clock. CVCA look for their second win in a row. We're going to try and get some out-of-town scores for you here before the end of the game, or before we sign off the air. In the meantime, we're going to take a look at the stats of this game one more time.
Fans, after the team huddle, please join us in the far end zone for the singing of the alma mater. Just a few minutes.
Our crack staff's going to bring those stats up in just a few moments. And there they are. Big night for CVCA, 416 yards of offense, all on the ground. Tommy Kopech with 198 yards. Zach Anderson over 150 yards on the ground. And CVCA, 416. 5 turnovers, the other big story for CVCA tonight. The Royals dominating in all facets of the game. Although I'm sure that Coach Cook will want to clean up those 85 penalty yards. But CVCA 49 and Canton South 7, the final score once again tonight. We're going to run some of those highlights right now if we've got them ready, and then we'll come back with the out-of-town scoreboard. Looking over to Owen, and he's going to run them right now. Here's Beagle, and he's ranging out, and Jace Mankey just ranges in front of that pass and makes the interception. On the very next play, Tommy Kopech rumbled 70 yards for his third touchdown of the night. And there's a big play on the botched punt. Another fumble recovery for Carter Walkley, who had a pair. And the Royals' final touchdown of the night to put the icing on the cake. (49-7) as the Royals community celebrates on the field. Next time we'll be on the air is on September the 18th. There it is. CVCA and Boardman will be on the air at 6:30 that night, about 10 minutes earlier than we were on the air tonight, as it's homecoming on September the 18th. Kickoff again at 7 o'clock, and the Spartans from Boardman will make their first trip to CVCA, to Royals Stadium. Royals will see if they can make it 2 in a row against the Spartans. They were victorious down at the alma mater of Bernie Kosar last year. And so September the 18th, 2026. Make sure you follow us again at CVCA Livestream on Facebook, on Instagram, and on X. And obviously hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We'll be back with you for the Boardman game in 3 weeks' time. All right, we're about ready for the out-of-town scores. We're going to fire those up here in just a moment. Take one final look at what's happening with CVCA opponents this week. And there they are. So this is what we got. So a lot of them not updated. So some of them are still at the half. Woodridge was up 35-20 at halftime. Lake, the Blue Streaks, defeated Boardman 27-0. We'll keep their eyes on Boardman as they play their next 2 weeks before they come here to Royal Stadium. Fourth quarter score and a close one. Lake Catholic 14, Avon Lake 13. Royals pulling for Lake Catholic, pulling for their opponents. When they win, the Royals accumulate more points in the OHSA playoff race. Gilmore Academy leading Holy Name in a defensive battle 7-0 in the fourth quarter. A shocker, still 7-0 West G over NDCL in the home opener for the Lions. Padua 3, Benedictine nothing at halftime. Mayfield early second quarter score being reported 23-7 over Elyria Catholic. And Revere and Garfield will lace them up tomorrow afternoon at Garfield. The Royals will be at Garfield in 2 weeks' time. Next week at Woodridge. Here, we're just about done. We'll take a look. Actually, we already looked at the final stats for the game. We looked at the out-of-town scores. We've reminded you about our next broadcast. And so we're going to close now. Before we sign off, once again, we want to say thank you to our fully volunteer team that brought you the coverage tonight. John Powell sitting in a hotel room in Bowling Green, Kentucky, running pressing all the buttons and making sure everything worked with the communication. Thank you, John, for logging in for us tonight. Gabe Laurie sitting in the director chair here, keeping things on the up and up here in the booth. Steve Bader on the camera up high for us. Chad Dar in the tower and stats. And welcome to team Owen Widmer in the house managing replay for us tonight. This is Tim Nichols, and these broadcasts do not happen without the fantastic efforts of this group. Finally, we'd be remiss not to offer thanks and appreciation to our amazing CVCA athletics staff. Thanks to Rico Bell, our halftime guest, and the new CVCA athletic director and his team, Associate Athletic Director Jason Herblay, SID Ben Miller, as well as Tracy Eck and Amber Martin. It was new family tailgate night tonight at CVCA, and they saw a heck of a game for the Royals. The final score tonight, CVCA 49, Canton South 7. My name's Tim Nichols. Thank you for watching. So long, everybody. Have a good weekend.